let's dive into this. You guys sent in some pretty intense excerpts from this book.
Yeah.
And wow, just skimming through it, I was really struck by some of the stuff it talks about.
It really does seem to get to the heart of some of the big contradictions that men are facing today.
Yeah. Yeah, and it kind of feels like a wake-up call, about how all these different forces are kind of shaping the world we live in and impacting our lives as men.
Absolutely. And what's interesting to me is how this book really challenges a lot of the conventional narratives that we hear about masculinity.
Right. It doesn't shy away from the tough stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, so one of the first things that really jumped out at me was this idea of the double bind of vulnerability.
Right.
So the book talks about this masculine equilibrium, like this balance between strength and emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
But then it gives this example of a firefighter named John who's like praised for being brave at work, but then like labeled as toxic for those same traits in his personal life.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, and that anecdote I think is really powerful because it illustrates these conflicting messages that men are getting today.
Yeah.
On one hand, they're expected to be these stoic protectors, but on the other hand, they're criticized for not being emotionally open.
Yeah, it's like a no-win situation.
It really is.
And it's actually pretty serious. The book cites statistics about male suicide rates and how they're significantly higher than female rates.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, it's definitely a sobering thought.
It is.
And then the book goes on to talk about how media plays a role in this too. Like how often do we see movies or shows where the male lead is allowed to be vulnerable without being punished or ridiculed for it?
Definitely not the norm, not at all. And that just kind of perpetuates this idea that men have to suppress their emotions in order to be considered strong or worthy of respect.
Yeah, it's like a vicious cycle. They're afraid to open up, and then that just feeds into the stereotype that they're emotionally unavailable.
Exactly.
So we've got that going on, and then the book throws another curveball at us, with this idea of the illusion of gender equality.
Mm-hmm.
It argues that in our pursuit of equality, we often overlook like fundamental differences between men and women.
Right, and it uses this really interesting example called the Scandinavian gender paradox.
Okay, what's that?
So the Scandinavian countries like Norway and Sweden, they're known for their really strong gender equality policy.
Right.
But they also have some of the most gender segregated career choices.
Oh, interesting.
So it's this kind of paradox where you have these countries that are really pushing for equality on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But in practice, you still see these very distinct differences in the types of careers that men and women choose.
So what the book is saying is that maybe pushing for equal outcomes is actually counterproductive in some ways.
Could be, yeah.
Because it ignores these inherent differences that might exist between men and women.
It's one of the key arguments, and they even talk about this biological imperative model, which suggests that career choices are often driven by these inherent biological differences.
So instead of focusing on forcing everyone into the same mold, maybe the focus should be on creating a society where both men and women can thrive by pursuing their natural strengths and passions.
That's the idea. That's the ideal.
Have you seen this paradox playing out in your own life or your work at all?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, just think about fields like nursing and
Oh, yeah.
engineering. Despite all the efforts to encourage more women in STEM, we still see this really strong preference for women in caregiving roles and men in these more technical fields.
Right.
So it really suggests that there might be something more at play here than just societal expectations.
Okay, onto a topic I think we can all relate to.
Okay.
The power of rationality.
Right.
We all like to think of ourselves as rational being. We make decisions based on logic and evidence.
Right.
This book makes this pretty bold claim
Uh-oh.
that 90% of our decisions are actually driven by emotion.
Oh, wow.
And then we just kind of use logic to justify them later.
Okay.
It's kind of humbling.
It is. It makes you think about how much control we actually have.
Yeah, exactly.
Over our decision-making processes.
So the book uses the 2008 financial crisis as an example of what happens when logic takes a backseat to emotion.
Right.
Especially in like group setting.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where the idea of groupthink comes in.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Yeah, and the book really does a good job of explaining how that can lead to these disastrous outcomes.
Yeah, because you get this kind of like snowball effect where where everyone's caught up in the hype. Nobody wants to be the voice of dissent.
Right. You don't want to be the party pooper.
Exactly. And next thing you know, you've got a global financial meltdown on your hands.
Yeah, it's like everyone's just blindly following the crowd. And then the book points out how social media can actually make this worse.
Right.
By creating these echo chambers where we're only exposed to information that confirms our existing bias.
Yeah, and these algorithms, they're designed to keep us engaged.
Yeah.
And that often means showing us more of what we already agree with.
Right. It's like this feedback loop of confirmation bias.
Exactly.
So what can we do about it? How do we break free from this consensus trap and start making more rational decisions?
Well, the book talks about the importance of developing critical thinking skills. Being able to question assumptions, to seek out diverse perspectives, to be willing to challenge the status quo, even when it feels uncomfortable.
So it's about being more aware of our own biases.
Exactly.
And how they might be influencing our decision. And I guess that means being more discerning about the information we consume.
Absolutely.
Not just taking everything at face value.
Right.
Yeah.
And being willing to engage with viewpoints that challenge our own.
So this book is really emphasizing the importance of self-awareness.
It is.
Not just in understanding the world around us,
Yeah.
but also in understanding our own thought process.
Absolutely. Self-awareness is the foundation for making more rational and informed decisions.
Okay, and speaking of self-awareness,
Okay.
the book brings up some serious concerns about the impact of social media on men's mental health.
Yeah, this is a big one.
It cites some pretty alarming statistics about how excessive social media use is linked to increased rates of depression and low self-esteem in men.
It's easy to see how that happens. Social media is basically a highlight reel of everyone else's seemingly perfect life.
Right. It's all filters and curated content.
Exactly. And for men who are often judged by their achievements and social status, this constant barrage of curated perfection can be really damaging.
Yeah, it's easy to fall into the comparison trap and start feeling inadequate. So the book argues that finding purpose and building real world communities is crucial for combating these negative effects.
I completely agree, and it's not about demonizing social media altogether.
Right.
It's about using it in a healthy and balanced way.
So setting boundaries,
Yeah.
being intentional with our time, and prioritizing genuine connections over virtual ones.
Right. Because at the end of the day, those real world connections are the ones that really matter.
And this is a good opportunity to kind of connect with you, the listener, for a second.
Yeah.
Just take a moment to think about your own social media habits. Are they adding value to your life, or are they a source of stress and comparison?
Good question.
Are you using them to connect with others, or are they just another way to escape from the real world?
Right. It's something to really think about.
Okay, so moving on, the book then shifts gears a bit and focuses on this really inspiring idea,
Okay.
building a legacy. And what's interesting here is that it doesn't define legacy in terms of material wealth or social status,
Okay.
but rather in terms of the positive impact we have on the world.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's about shifting our focus from what we can take to what we can give. And the book shares this really inspiring story about a businessman who instead of hoarding his wealth,
Yeah.
he used it to fund scholarships and mentor underprivileged youth.
Oh, wow.
So he was creating this ripple effect of positive change.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful illustration of what they call the contribution ripple. This idea that even small acts of kindness can have this far-reaching impact.
Right, because you never know who you're going to inspire or how your actions are going to ripple outwards.
And the book argues that true masculinity is about taking responsibility for something bigger than ourselves,
Yeah.
whether it's our families, our communities, or the world at large.
It's about leaving your mark
Yeah.
on the world in a positive way.
So it's about aligning our actions with our values, and using our strengths to make a difference.
Exactly. And what resonated with you the most from this idea of building a legacy?
I think what really struck me is that it reframes success in a way that goes beyond personal gain.
Right.
It's a call to action to think about the kind of impact we want to leave on the world.
It's a bigger perspective.
It's not just about about what we accumulate, but about what we contribute.
Exactly. And that's a really powerful message, I think.
And then we move into a topic that I think is becoming increasingly relevant in today's world.
Okay.
This idea of psychological warfare.
Oh, wow.
And how it's being waged through media.
Mm-hmm.
The book actually calls it Media and Mind Control.
Okay.
And it explores how these subtle tactics are being used to shape our beliefs and behaviors, often without us even realizing it.
Right. It's like subliminal message.
Yeah, it's pretty unsettling, to be honest.
It is.
But think about how easily we can be manipulated by these forces that we're not even aware of.
Yeah. And the book argues that we're constantly bombarded with messages that undermine our confidence, our values, and even our sense of self.
Yeah, it's like this slow drip of negativity that just kind of wears us down over time.
Exactly. And it's scary to think about, but I think it explains why so many men feel lost and confused in today's world. It's like we're being bombarded with these messages that tell us we're not good enough, that we're the problem,
right?
That we need to apologize for simply being men.
Yeah, it's like this constant barrage of guilt and shame.
Exactly.
So the book is reminding us that we need to be critical consumers of media. We can't just passively absorb everything we see and hear. We need to question the narratives that we're being fed.
Yeah.
Seek out alternative perspectives and develop a healthy skepticism.
Absolutely. And it's not about shutting ourselves off from the world, or becoming cynical or distrustful of everything.
Yeah.
It's more about developing a more discerning eye, being able to filter out the noise and focus on what truly matters.
So it's about taking back control of our thoughts and beliefs.
Exactly.
Rather than letting the media dictate them for us. And that leads us to the book's emphasis on crafting a vision for the future.
Okay.
It's about setting goals, developing a plan, and taking action to create the life we want,
right,
rather than just reacting to circumstances.
It's about being proactive instead of reactive.
Exactly. So the book argues that too many men are living on autopilot, just letting external forces dictate their choices and their direction.
Right, and it's a call to action to become the architects of our own lives.
To take ownership of our lives.
Exactly.
And shape our own destinies. So it's about shifting from a passive mindset to an active one.
Absolutely.
Okay, and it's not just about setting goals. The book emphasizes the importance of developing a strong work ethic,
right,
embracing discipline, and cultivating a sense of purpose.
Yeah, those are essential ingredients for success in any endeavor.
And the book reminds us that achieving our goals requires more than just wishful thinking. It demands consistent effort, perseverance, and a willingness to embrace.
Absolutely. It's about pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones, embracing the struggle, and not being afraid to fail along the way.
Because failure is just part of the process.
It is.
How we learn and grow.
Exactly. And the book provides, some practical advice on how to develop these qualities, from setting realistic goals to breaking down large tasks into smaller, manageable steps to developing a system of accountability.
Yeah. So it's about creating a roadmap for success. And then putting in the work to make it a reality.
Exactly.
Okay. Now let's talk about something that's often shrouded in mystery and even fear.
Okay.
Money. So the book argues that financial literacy is essential for every man.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about making money,
right,
but about understanding how it works and using it to achieve our goals.
Yeah, I mean, so many people are afraid to even talk about money,
right,
or they just don't understand it.
Yeah, it's like this taboo subject.
It is.
But the book really breaks down these complex financial concepts in a way that's accessible and empowering.
Right, right.
So it's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity and fear.
Yeah.
To one of abundance and opportunity.
Exactly, because money can be a tool. It can be a tool for good. It can be a tool for creating the life you want.
Yeah, so it's not just about getting rich.
Yeah.
It's about using money to support our values, our goals, our dreams.
Absolutely. And the book offers practical advice on everything from budgeting and saving to investing and building passive income streams.
So it's about creating a solid financial foundation that gives us freedom and security allowing us to pursue our passions and make a positive impact on the world.
I like that. I like that.
This book is really about taking control of all aspects of our lives, isn't it?
It is. It's about becoming the best versions of ourselves, both internally and externally.
This has been another great conversation. We've covered so much ground.
We have.
But there's still more to explore in this book.
There is.
So be sure to join us for part 2.
Yeah.
Where we'll continue our deep dive into the complexities of masculinity in the modern world.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
We'll pick up the conversation and see what other gems we can uncover.
Sounds good. Welcome back. As we continue exploring these ideas, it's fascinating to see how the book connects all these seemingly disparate concepts, like vulnerability and social media, and it shows how they're all intertwined in this complex landscape of modern masculinity.
Right, it's like peeling back the layers of an onion.
Exactly.
And speaking of connections, the next topic the book dives into is mentorship.
Okay.
And it highlights its importance for men, both as mentors and mentees.
Right, and mentorship is something that often gets overlooked, I think.
Yeah.
But the book argues that it's actually a fundamental aspect of masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
It's about passing down knowledge and wisdom and experience from one generation to the next, and that's essential for the growth and development of men.
It's like a torch being passed,
Right.
ensuring that the values and traditions that have shaped us are carried forward. What are your thoughts on this whole idea of mentorship?
Well, I think it's incredibly valuable, and the book emphasizes that true mentorship goes beyond just giving advice.
Okay.
It's about building a genuine relationship based on mutual respect and trust and support.
So it's not just about telling someone what to do.
Right.
It's about guiding them on their journey. And helping them navigate the challenges they face.
Exactly, and the book actually provides some practical advice on both finding a mentor and becoming one.
Okay.
It encourages men to seek out individuals who align with their values, who've achieved what they aspire to,
Right.
and who are willing to invest in their growth.
So it's about being proactive. Take the initiative to reach out and build those connections.
Absolutely.
Have you ever had a mentor who really had a profound impact on your life?
Oh, absolutely.
Like someone who believed in you, challenged you,
Yeah.
and helped you reach your full potential.
I've been very fortunate to have several mentors throughout my life who have played a really significant role in my personal and professional development. And their guidance and support have been invaluable.
I think most of us can relate to that. Whether it was a teacher or a coach, a family member, or even a friend. Having someone who believes in us can make all the difference.
You really can.
Okay, so mentorship's a powerful force for good.
Absolutely.
And then the book kind of shifts gears a bit and tackles a topic that's often seen as taboo.
Okay.
Religion. So it argues that religion can provide a sense of purpose, meaning, and community that's often lacking in modern society.
Right, and it's an interesting topic because it seems like in today's increasingly secular culture, religion is often dismissed as outdated or irrelevant, but the book suggests that it can actually offer something valuable, a framework for making sense of the world and a community of like-minded individuals.
And the book approaches this topic with a lot of nuance.
It does.
It acknowledges that religion has been a powerful force throughout history, shaping cultures and civilization,
Right.
and that it continues to provide strength and guidance for many men today.
Absolutely.
So it's not about blindly following dogma or adhering to rigid ritual.
No, not at all.
It's about finding something bigger than ourselves to believe in.
Right.
Something that gives our lives meaning and purpose. And it could be a specific religion, a spiritual practice, or even just a set of guiding principles.
Right. It's about finding what resonates with you,
Yeah.
what feels authentic,
Right.
and what helps you live a life that's aligned with your values.
Okay, now let's shift gears to a topic that's becoming increasingly relevant, I think, in the digital age.
Okay.
And that's the subtle ways in which media can influence our thoughts and behavior.
Right.
The book refers to this as media and mind control. And it's definitely a bit
It is, and it's something that I think we should all be be aware of.
Yeah.
The book argues that we're constantly bombarded with messages that undermine our confidence, our values, and even our sense of self.
Yeah.
It's like this constant drip feed of negativity that can wear us down over time.
And it's interesting because you wouldn't think something is as simple as like scrolling through social media or watching TV
Right.
could have such a profound impact.
Right.
But the book makes this really compelling case for how these subtle influences can actually shape our perceptions of the world and ourselves.
They do, and the book encourages us to become more critical consumers of media. You know, we can't just passively absorb everything we see and hear.
Right.
We need to question the narratives that we're being fed, seek out alternative perspectives, and develop a healthy skepticism.
So it's not about becoming cynical or distrustful of everything.
No.
But rather about developing a more discerning eye. You know, being able to filter out the noise and focus on what truly matters.
Exactly. And the book uses this term media immunity, which I really like. It's this ability to recognize and resist the subtle ways in which media attempts to manipulate our thoughts and emotions.
That's a powerful concept.
It is.
It's about taking back control of our own minds, you know, and not allowing ourselves to be passively programmed by external forces.
Right. And that leads us to this idea of crafting a vision for the future.
Right.
You know, it's about setting goals, developing a plan, and taking action to create the life we want.
Right.
Rather than just reacting to circumstances.
It's about being proactive instead of reactive.
Absolutely. And the book argues that too many men are living on autopilot, you know, just letting external forces dictate their choices and their direction.
Right.
And it's a call to action to become the architects of our own lives.
To take ownership of our lives.
Exactly.
And shape our own destinies. So it's about shifting from a passive mindset to an active one.
Absolutely. And it's not just about setting goals, you know.
Right.
The book emphasizes the importance of developing a strong work ethic, embracing discipline,
Right.
and cultivating a sense of purpose.
And those are essential ingredients for success in any endeavor.
They really are.
And the book reminds us that achieving our goals requires more than just wishful thinking.
Yeah.
It demands consistent effort, perseverance,
Right.
and a willingness to embrace challenges.
Absolutely. And it's about pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones, embracing the struggle,
Right.
and not being afraid to fail along the way.
Failure is just part of the process.
It is.
It's how we learn and grow.
Exactly. And the book provides some really practical advice on how to develop these qualities.
Okay.
You know, from setting realistic goals to breaking down large tasks into smaller manageable steps to developing a system of accountability.
So it's about creating a roadmap for success, and then putting in the work to make it a reality.
Exactly.
And now let's talk about something that's often shrouded in mystery and even fear, money. So the book argues that financial literacy is essential for every man.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about making money,
Right.
but about understanding how it works and using it to achieve our goals.
So many people are just afraid to even talk about money.
Right.
Or they just don't understand it.
Yeah, it's like this taboo subject that we're not supposed to discuss.
Right, and the book does a really good job of breaking down these complex financial concepts in a way that's accessible and empowering.
So it's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity and fear to one of abundance and opportunity.
Exactly, because money can be a tool. It can be a tool for good. It can be a tool for creating the life you want.
So it's not just about getting rich. It's about using money to support our values, our goals, our dreams.
Absolutely. And the book offers practical advice on everything from budgeting and saving to investing and building passive income streams.
So it's about creating a solid financial foundation that gives us freedom and security, allowing us to pursue our passions and make a positive impact on the world.
I like that. I like that a lot.
This book is really about taking control of all aspects of our lives, isn't it?
It is. It's about becoming the best versions of ourselves, both internally and externally.
Well, this has been another thought-provoking.
It has.
We've covered so much ground, but there's still more to explore.
There is.
So be sure to join us for part 3 of our deep dive.
Yeah.
As we delve into the final chapters of this compelling book.
Looking forward to it.
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive. It's been quite a journey exploring this whole idea of masculinity in the modern world.
It really has. It really has. And as we get into these final chapters, I think it becomes even more apparent that this book is really a call to action. You know, it's a call for men to step up and really shape their own lives and the world around them.
Yeah, it's not just about understanding the challenge. You know?
Yeah.
It's about taking concrete steps to create a better future for ourselves and for future generations.
Exactly. And one of the key themes that emerges in these final chapters is this idea of holistic development. You know,
Okay.
It's not enough to just focus on one area of our lives, like career or fitness.
Right.
We need to cultivate all aspects of ourselves, our minds, our relationships, our spiritual side.
It's about creating a sense of balance, you know, recognizing that all these pieces are interconnected and contribute to our overall well-being.
Exactly. And the book also stresses the importance of continuous learning and personal growth. You know, even beyond formal education.
So it's about cultivating a curious mind.
Yeah.
Being open to new ideas and challenging ourselves to learn and grow throughout our lives.
Absolutely. And the book argues that this kind of intellectual curiosity is essential for adapting to a world that's constantly changing.
You know, it's interesting because it seems like in today's world there's so much emphasis on specialization. You know, on becoming an expert in one narrow field.
Right.
But this book is encouraging a more well-rounded approach to learning a sort of Renaissance man ideal.
That's a great way to put it. And the book provides a wealth of resources and suggestions for how men can continue their education.
Okay.
You know, from online courses and mentorship programs to simply seeking out challenging conversations and experiences.
So it's about recognizing that learning is not just a means to an end, but a lifelong pursuit that enriches our lives and expands our horizons.
Absolutely. And speaking of enriching our lives, the book also emphasizes the importance of cultivating strong social connections.
Right. It's about finding our tribe, you know, those guys who we can rely on, who challenge us, who make us laugh, and who support us on our journey.
Exactly. And the book actually debunks this myth of the lone wolf. You know, it argues that men are inherently social creatures who thrive in environments where they feel connected and valued.
It's interesting because there's this societal expectation that men should be, you know, self-reliant and stoic. But this book is suggesting that true strength actually comes from vulnerability and connection.
Exactly. And the book highlights the importance of shared experiences, you know, shared struggles and shared triumphs and forging those bonds.
It's about creating those brotherhoods,
you
know, where men can be themselves, let down their guard and support each other through thick and thin.
Absolutely. And the book even offers some practical advice for building those connections, whether it's joining a sports team or volunteering in your community, or even just making an effort to stay in touch with friends and family.
So it's about being intentional with our relationship and investing time and energy into nurturing those connections.
Absolutely. And as we reach the culmination of this deep dive, the book leaves us with this really powerful message about legacy. You know, it's about recognizing that our lives have meaning and purpose beyond our own individual experiences.
Right. It's about contributing to something larger than ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, about leaving the world a better place than we found it.
Exactly. And the book argues that true masculinity is about leaving your mark on the world in a positive way.
It's about creating something that will outlast us, you know, whether it's a family, a business, a work of art, or simply a positive impact on the lives of others.
The book actually provides some really inspiring examples of men who have built these lasting legacies through acts of service and mentorship and creative expression and philanthropy.
It's a reminder that we all have the potential to make a difference in the world, to leave a mark that ripples outwards long after we're gone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this deep dive has been an incredible journey, exploring the complexities of masculinity in the modern world and uncovering a wealth of insights and actionable advice.
I couldn't agree more. And for our listeners who want to explore these ideas in more depth, I highly recommend checking out the full book.
Yeah, definitely.
You can find it on Amazon Kindle and Google Play Books.
It's a book that has the potential to change lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I encourage every man to read it and engage with its powerful message.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope it's been, insightful and inspiring. And
absolutely.
Until next time, keep striving to become the best version of yourself
and
make a positive impact on the world.
Sounds good.